Hello everyone, this is Ms. Ziegler coming to you today to introduce our new unit that we're going to start on Monday. The title of the unit is Research Revisited, and more specifically it's on famous female philanthropists. Okay, so I'm very excited about this project. I hope you get excited as well, and I think we're going to learn a lot throughout this module. Okay, so let's go through this presentation so we'll all be on the same page and know what's expected of all of us. Okay, the introduction. The purpose of this learning module is to refresh each student on various elements of research, the research process, and expository writing. This presentation covers only the first week of our module. So this module will go on for 3 weeks. However, the work that I'm going to cover right now is only for the first week, just so that I don't bombard you with so much stuff right off the bat, okay? All right, and I also hope that my mouth movements and the audio are matching, because I know sometimes there is a lag. So if there is a lag, I do apologize if it's bothering you guys. Okay, so let's move on. Let's look at our, let me move my face down so it's not in the standard. Okay, so the standards for this unit are the writing standards, W7, W8, and W9. I want you to pay close attention to what I have underlined here, because these are the things that we're working on this week. We have conduct short as well as more sustained research projects to answer a question, and I will be giving you that question. But just to give you a heads up, basically the question that you're going to be researching is, how important is philanthropy to the subject that you'll be choosing? And you will be discussing mostly the charitable works that your famous female does. So that's what the project is basically about. To keep going with this standard, we also will be synthesizing multiple sources on the subject. So basically that just means that we will use various pieces of research, online books, encyclopedias, whatever we can find that are reliable for our subject that we choose, and we're going to put all of that together. That's what synthesize means. It means to take a lot of different variables or small pieces and put it all together. So that's what we'll be doing. So we'll be synthesizing multiple sources on the subject, demonstrating understanding of the subject under investigation. Okay. Writing standard 8 says gather relevant information from multiple authoritative print and digital sources. Also, we're going to skip down to avoiding plagiarism. That's one of the main things that we're going to focus on this week, how to avoid plagiarism. And also we're going to learn how to follow a standard format for citation. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next writing standard that we'll be covering, which is W9, which says we will draw evidence from literary or informational text to support analysis, reflection, and research. Okay, so those are our standards that cover this research unit. So what will we be learning this week? You may be thinking, Ms. Ziegler, so what exactly are we going to be learning? And we basically have just taken the standards and we have created some learning targets. And here they are on this screen. We're going to learn what constitutes plagiarism. What are some ways that I can effectively and appropriately utilize the work of others? How do I create note cards and source cards, and how can they help me keep my information organized? How do I create an outline for my research paper? Okay, so those are the learning targets for week number 1. Okay, all right, so the assignment. So let me be more specific about what the assignment is actually. I've given you the standards, I've given you the learning targets, I've given you the title. So now you may be wondering, so Ms. Ziegler, what exactly is it that we will have to do? And I'm going to explain it. So in order to explain it, we need to move over to what's called the biography presentation fact sheet. Okay, so before we move on to it, I want you to know that this sheet outlines the whole project. Even though this presentation is only focusing on week 1, I want you guys to know that I gave you the whole project just so you'll know where week 1 goes, how week 1 goes into week 2, then how week 2 would go into week 3. Okay, but always, as always, remember to email or text me with any questions or issues immediately so we can go ahead and get those fixed as we move on. Okay, so let me switch over to the biography presentation fact sheet. Everyone should have that in front of them as we pull it up on the screen. Okay. Let me move this over. Wait. Okay, I was having a little bit of trouble making it fit into the screencast recording window, but I hope this is fine and I hope you guys can see this. Basically, you have this in front of you. This is the biography project fact sheet, and let's start off with the important dates. What's important for you to remember is that we have 4 source cards that are due on the 14th, which is basically on Thursday, because Thursday is our class day. So we have 4 source cards due on Thursday. We have 8 note cards also due on Thursday. We'll be getting more into that a little bit later. And I left the rough draft sheets due and the final project due blank because it just depends on how well we make progress. Please note here on the side, I said while researching, look for an interesting quote from your subject to include in your presentation, and I'll give you more about that as well. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew to be looking for something interesting that your person may have said when you are researching. Okay, here's the assignment. Students will create a project. Microsoft publish a newsletter or brochure or PowerPoint, a Prezi, whatever your little heart desires. You will create some type of product containing biographical information and philanthropic information on a famous female who has impacted society in a major way. Okay, we will have a list. There is, in fact, a list that I have attached to your learning module where you can peruse and choose a woman from that list. Now, you may be wondering, why can't I choose my own person? And when you look at the list, you'll see there are about 50 to 60 people on the list. So I think anyone that you primarily wanted to choose is already on that list. But I just want to make sure that we could choose people who would have ample amount of information online and in books, so you wouldn't struggle with finding research. So that's why I wanted you to choose from my list. Okay, let's keep going. How do I lay this out? Okay, so basically this is what's going to be coming in the weeks. This is what's coming up in the weeks to come. You will begin by telling who your person is and what they're famous for. This is like a little blurb at the beginning, approximately 3 to 4 sentences, like a magazine starts. And you'll notice this on biography.com. If you use biography.com to access information on your person, you will see that biography.com starts with telling you exactly who this person is and what they're famous for. And I want you to start out your writing like that. Whenever we get to that stage, I want you to start out that way. The middle part, you will divide the body of your product into 3 middle sections. 2 of the sections is up to you. However you want to handle those sections, it's up to you. Here's some suggestions. You can talk about early life and family, career, obstacles, accomplishments, death, etc. If your person has died, you can talk about their death. But your third body paragraph needs to be on it needs to be devoted to the charitable works done by your famous person, because in essence, that is what this research project is about. Finally, the last paragraph will be on why you chose this person. And you guys, please remember, it's not enough to say, oh, I chose her because I like her. You must draw from the information that you discover and give meaningful reasons as to why this person was worthy of your time. Okay? All right, so in a nutshell, this is our assignment. It says here to stay tuned for further information, because I will be updating the class website with different things that you need to know regarding this project. Okay? All right, so let's continue on with our PowerPoint. Let's go back over here. Okay. Okay. All right, so now let's go over your schedule. Remember, this is only the schedule for week 1. Monday, by Monday, you should have reviewed this PowerPoint that you're watching now, this intro video, which has a PowerPoint in it. I also have the PowerPoint attached for people who don't want to listen to me ramble, because I do have a tendency to do that. But I just like to be in contact with you guys and for you to see me and hear me, and so we can have an easier and more friendly relationship. But anyway, for those people who don't want to listen to this, I do have just the PowerPoint itself done, so you can go back and view that. You should, on Monday, you need to take the plagiarism pretest, and there is a link to that at the end of this PowerPoint that you will have. Discussion board posting, it says due today. When I said today, I mean Monday 4/11/16. So I don't know what day you're going to be viewing this, but it is due on Monday, the 11th, 2016. On your discussion board post, you will name the famous female philanthropist that you will research. Why was this person your choice? And then on a scale of 0 to 5, tell me how well you would rate yourself on plagiarism after you take the pretest, okay? Also, please be aware to respond to the postings of your peer review group members. So if you don't know who your group members are, you guys, you need to access the PDF and find out who your review members are. They should be the same people that you've had all along, okay? All right, so let's move on to the rest of the week. Okay, then we have Tuesday, 4/12. You need to review the resources provided. It's 2 videos and a tutorial to answer the following question thoughtfully in at least 3 paragraphs. It is also due on Tuesday. The question is, why do you think schools are so averse to plagiarism? What are some possible punishments that could occur from plagiarism? If the plagiarism was unintentional, do you think the same punishment should apply? Give at least 2 ways that a student can avoid plagiarism, okay? Also, please remember on this day to respond to the postings of your peer review group members, okay? Let's move on to the next slide. Then on Wednesday, let me make sure all this is in the frame. On Wednesday, there are more videos to review on note cards and source cards. Let me move my face down here so I think I'm just going to block out something anyway. I apologize for that. Produce 4 source cards and 8 note cards. At least one of your sources should be an online book or a print book or a magazine. These will be due in class on Thursday. Also, I want you to review the Teacher Discovery Research PDF. It's attached at the end of this PowerPoint. I want you to review that on how to create an outline. And your outline will also be due in class on Thursday. Okay.